in Kinship, and it's been almost, what, 6 years now since we first shot that?
Well,
I think it's going on 6 years.
My involvement, though, would have started a bit later because I started getting into the acting world in 2013. It was probably possibly late 2013 when I met you, Crenshaw, through a project where I got to be a sperm. Do you remember that?
Oh, with Carl, with their project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were on that, and so that was interesting, and that's a great story. I hope I make it because it would be wonderful to make it and be able to say that my first role was as a sperm. Auspicious beginnings. Yeah, and then that's when we met and then connected about Kinship. So I feel like it might have been 2014 when we shot it, but I know that this film has a deeper history even before that too.
Yes,
So.
yes. So you didn't get to experience all the craziness.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, Reverend James Willis, how did you prepare for that? And
as far as preparing for it, of course, I'm a Jewish guy, so playing the Reverend is out of my wheelhouse a bit, but at the same time, the idea of playing a rabbi is something that I can connect to, that I could understand. I could channel myself in that way, and so I feel like I probably used sort of, the rabbi as an entry point to imagine being the Reverend. So a lot of similarities there. I mean, a leader in a faith community. Kinship was a great experience for a number of reasons, including the fact, and mainly I would say that it was my first significant role in an independent project. And so I got to play a role that, was present throughout the film and had a trajectory, and etc. And so it was the first time I could actually approach a role and think about it in that way. And so that's a great experience, and it's an important thing to be able to do. So I'm grateful to be able to have been brought in to play the Reverend and to to try my hand at that kind of role. Carl Payne was in this project, and we got to meet him. And actually, we filmed that outside of my house. So everybody came over to our place, and we've got a small little place. And I remember the play. We had like the makeup spot and wardrobe, etc. And my wife had been out, I think, and then she came back in, and it was like just madness in the place. So, but it was a lot of fun. I was very impressed with him, and I remember, and because I had, again, thankfully I have more experience acting now. At this point, more experience working with scripts, diving into a script. But I was really blown away by how Carl showed up on the day, and he was given the script. He took a look at it, and I felt like minutes later we were doing the scene, and he was hitting key beats. His lines were on point, and I couldn't fathom that at the time. I would say I wouldn't claim now that I'm at some level. I'm at a Carl Payne level at all, but I would just say that it was a treat to get to work with him and watch him work and see that happening, and because it was something I at the time couldn't imagine doing really.
So what was it like working with Donald Crenshaw?
I had a great time with Crenshaw. He's excellent. I mean, he's been supportive of me from the start. Like I said, he was a part of the first project that I was in, where I was a sperm, a fighting sperm, by the way. It's very interesting. It's kind of like a Star Wars sperm, and I appreciate that he saw in me, maybe a character look or the possibility of someone who could bring to life in his projects, certain roles. And so that means a lot to me, and I appreciate that. And he's a good guy to work with. I mean, he's nice, supportive. It's a good working environment. We have a good time. Crenshaw is someone who is committed to projects and will see them through. Making a film is a big deal and takes a long time, and there's a lot to it. So it's really a momentous thing to accomplish in my mind. And so I appreciate that he is committed to his projects and sees them through. And, brings together good people to work and enjoy and to try to tell an interesting story. Yeah, so in the acting world, I'm still acting. I like to joke that I'm auditioning because I audition and see what comes through. So there's a project that I'll be doing in the spring of this year. I'm not sure if it'll be April or May. We'll see. And that's called Dubuk, and that's with the filmmaker Edward Reed. And that's going to be an interesting project that I'm excited to be a part of and get into. Musically, I have an album that just got mixed, and hopefully we'll get it mastered pretty soon, and then I can figure out if I'm going to self-release it or if maybe an independent label would put it out. We'll see what happens. And I continue to play music shows with my band, Adam Klein and the Wildfires. Americana, folk rock, or under my name Adam Klein if I'm playing solo or duo. And I also have the occasional show of my Malian, my West African Malian Mande meets roots project meets American roots and folk rock project. So in other words, it's my attempt to make music that is influenced by and suggestive of or close to West African Monday music, and so we do play shows as well. And I've got a show coming up at Terminal West, Thursday, April 19th, opening up for a really cool band called Tubop Crew. So, trying to stay involved and keep it going and write songs that I can write and just be active. I also have a new podcast. It's a quarterly podcast, so just once every 3 months. Put out a podcast, and that's for an organization I work with called African Sky, which is a great organization that does sustainable, community-based sustainable projects throughout Mali, West Africa. And so I'm doing a podcast where I'm interviewing different people related to the organization, people who I'm talking to about Malian music and history and culture and art and those sorts of things. So check out the African Sky podcast at the African Sky website, africansky.org. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out Kinship, and enjoy the film. Kamben, oni che, oni barajni, nye lasne kriyate ne nekafole dial bema. Amche.